Hi everyone! Welcome again to another edition of Storytime with Robbie. Today I'm going to be reading Never Insult a Killer Zucchini by Alana Azzouz. And I'm going to be reading Leo, a Ghost Story by Mac Barnett. And I'm going to be reading How Do Dinosaurs Choose Their Pets by Jane Yolen and Mark Twegg. And hope you enjoy. Alrighty, the first story I'm going to read today is Never Insult a Killer Zucchini by Alana Azzouz and Brandon Amancio. I grew zucchinis when I was a boy. They're my favorite. Sign in here. Sign in. All projects please line up from A to Z. Antimatter, I'll be right back. I'm just getting a drink of water. Oh no, where did it go? Homework, bionic lime. You put Mr. Farnsworth down this instant. Gah! Cloning. I'm the real one. No, I'm the real one. D. Dunes. Day device. T minus 10 o'clock. Want to see how it works? A razor beam. I'll never have to clean my room again. Sorry, Mr. Farnsworth. F. Force field. Giant ants. Hybrid. They do that sometimes when they're bored. Mrs. Punny likes you, Mr. Farnsworth. Invisibility suit. Yeah, the pants are a little short. My Telpy jetpack. K. Killer Zucchini. He's trained as I'm careful not to insult him or her. As he looks more like a yummy afternoon snack. Got any ranch dressing there, fella? Laser gun. Oops. Mind control. Yes, of course. You'll win first prize. Nuclear fusion. Or fusion. Help, my fingers are stuck. Outer aquarium. It's like an outer aquarium, but with outer space inside. How'd you get all those galaxies to fit? Protoplasm. Can it make ninjas? Quantum mechanics. They'll fix stuff before it breaks. Radioactive Gerbil. It's a pet and a nightlight. Shrink ray. Does it have a reverse button? I knew I forgot something. Teleporter. No, you may not send Mr. Farnsworth to another dimension. Underwater lar. That's pretty swanky. My real one has Wi-Fi. It makes broccoli disappear. Vortex. Weather machine. Now every day can be a snow day. X-ray glass. Youth serum. Your baby sister is adorable. This isn't my sister. It's my grandma. Zero gravity. Hold on. I'll save you, Killer Zucchini. Not again. Where's the teleporter? Get me out of here. I quit. The end. The second story I'm going to read is Leo, a Ghost Story by Mac Bennett. This is Leo. Most people cannot see him. But you can. Leo is a ghost. For many years, Leo lived by himself in a house on the edge of the city, reading books and drawing pictures in the dusk. One day in spring, a family moved in. Leo was glad to have company. On the family's first night, he made them mint tea and honey toast. Leo thought he was being a good host, but the family saw things differently. They hid in the bathroom and locked the door. "This house is haunted," said the man. "Gary, I'm scared," said the woman. "I hate tea," said the boy, "and I hate ghosts." And they did not know that Leo was floating above the tub. He heard everything they said. The family called in a scientist, a clergyman, and a physicist to get rid of the ghost, but they should have saved their money. Leo knew he was unwanted. He said goodbye to his home and left. "I've been a house ghost all my life," Leo thought. "Maybe I would like being a roaming ghost for a while." So Leo roamed. Leo saw the city and the people who lived there. Nobody saw Leo. The city was not like Leo remembered it. Some places were wonderful. Some places were scary. Everywhere it was so noisy. Leo went to a street corner where his favorite candy store used to be. Now, nothing was there. "Excuse me," he asked a police officer. "Do you know where?" The officer walked right through him. There was an afternoon when Leo found himself roaming along a sidewalk covered in drawings. He came across a girl holding chalk in her hand. The girl looked up and stared right at Leo. "I'm Jane," she said. "What's your name?" It was so strange to be looked at that at first Leo said nothing. Finally he replied, "I'm Leo." Jane nodded. "Leo, do you want to play Knights of the Round Table?" "Yes," Leo said, because he did. "Good," said Jane. "First, you have to get knighted by the king." "Who is the king?" Leo asked. "I am," said Jane. "That's why I'm wearing this crown on my head." Leo looked at her head. He did not see a crown. Still, he kneeled down and was knighted on the spot. Leo and Jane sat at a table. "Sir Leo," said Jane, "meet Sir Rufus, a loyal dog. Don't you think he looks handsome in his armor?" "Yes," said Leo. He bowed at an empty chair. And Sir Leo said, "Jane, this is Sir Meows, a loyal cat. Don't you find his whiskers wise looking?" "I do," said Leo, and he bowed again. And finally said Jane, "This is Sir Squawks." Leo interrupted, "A loyal bird." Jane frowned. "No," she said, "Sir Squawks is a giant hamster." "Oh," said Leo, I'm not wearing my glasses." Jane squinted at the chair. "I guess," she said. "Jane," a woman's voice came from another room. "Tell your imaginary friends goodbye and come down to dinner." "Fine," said Jane. She turned to Leo. "My mom doesn't think imaginary friends are worthwhile, but I think you're great." And with that, she stood up and went to the kitchen. Leo felt awful. "She thinks I'm imaginary," he thought. "If I tell her I'm a ghost, I will scare her away. After dinner, Jane returned to her room and gave Leo a sword. They snuck into a cave, slew a dragon, and stole out all his loot. When Leo closed his eyes, he could almost see the gold coins and green scales. After a glorious feast, it was time for bed. Jane gave Leo a pillow and a sheet. Don't tell Sir Ruffs, she said, but you are my best imaginary friend. Yes, said Leo. He was so happy he couldn't sleep. Leo went to the living room so he wouldn't wake Jane with his rustling. All night he lay on the floor designing his coat of arms. Halt, cried Leo, but the thief passed through him on his way to the silverware. Later, Leo would not be able to say where the idea came from. He threw the bedsheet over himself and flew at the thief, who was so frightened he dropped all the salad forks. Leo chased the man into a closet and slammed the door shut and locked him inside. It was very well done. The sound of the door woke Jane, who called the police and roused her mother. A squad car came and hauled the man off to jail. That was that. Thanks, said Jane. You're welcome, said Leo. I'm glad I could help. But Leo, said Jane, if you're my imaginary friend, how did you scare that robber? Leo looked down at the carpet. Jane, I told you a lie. I'm a ghost. I said I was your imaginary friend, but I'm not. I'm just your real friend. Oh, said Jane. Well, that's even better. And they went to the kitchen to have mint tea and honey toast at midnight. The end. Third story I'm going to read today is How Do Dinosaurs Choose Their Pets? By Jane Yolen and Mark Twain. How does a dinosaur pick out his pet? Does he go on the prowl with a stick and a net? Does he head to the zoo and take home a big cat? And what does his mom have to say about that? Does she drag a huge elephant back in a wagon with both its long trunk and its wee tail a dragon? Or, speaking of dragons, does she go acquire a high-flying beastie who loves to breathe fire? Does he pick out a boa constrictor for play? Does it look at his dog in a very odd way? Does he sneak in an iguana inside of a cap? Or lead home a kangaroo by a long strap? Does he ask for a manatee, maybe a whale, or wish for a shark he can keep in a pail? Does she carry off tortoises, zebras, a mink, giving them hay and a cola to drink? Is that what you think? No, a dinosaur doesn't. She knows what to do, and she never brings anything home from the zoo. Do not feed. He goes to a shelter or a pet store or a farm to find a small creature who will do no harm. He brings home a kitten or a hamster or a pup that he can teach manners as they both grow up. She cares for her pet and gives him love even more. Big hugs to your friend, little dinosaur. The end. Thank you so much for joining me today and for watching. Join me again next time. Join me Saturday for the Saturday edition of Storytime with Robbie.